have a very special guest here today.
Hi.
And I would love you, could you share your name with us?
My name is Bibiana, Cherny.
And I've noticed during the last 3 days that you've kind of had a little project in the background. Could you tell us more about your project?
So it's my third or fourth time on the Seoul. I've already been to a few times, and I can't skip school. Like my parents took me out of school for 3 days. So my parents said, because you're not in school and like not doing in school something, you should do something like on the conference, because otherwise it's gonna like be just like holidays for me.
Oh,
so
what did you decide to do?
Then I thought of like a podcast. So first I thought of if I could do a video, like post it on YouTube or something. And then I thought like a podcast.
Oh.
And so the past 3 days, I have been interviewing other people, and yeah.
I noticed that, like just outside of the conference walls, you were sitting near the window and you were just having these nice little interviews. And maybe out of all the people you've interviewed and with all that information, what have you learned?
So in the past 3 days, you can like only go to you couldn't go to every workshop, right? And then if I interviewed the persons, like with the questions, what did you do in the workshop? In which workshop were you? And then I wasn't there physically, but partly I was there because now I knew what was going on, and then I learned much stuff too, just because of that.
And that's why I think your work is so precious
for
all of the people who weren't here. Because a lot of people wanted to come to the conference, but either it was too far or at a bad time of year.
Yes.
So we're going to share some of the information you've collected with a much, much broader community so that they can also get those insights that you got. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we have a guest here as well. So we'd like to see a little bit how you did this. So would you mind having an interview and discovering a little bit more?
Yes.
So we can understand how you work.
Okay. So here we have the 2 mics.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna now tell you the questions, what there's gonna be from the questions, and then I'm gonna ask you something else. But before we do all of that, think of your favorite workshop you've been to the past days.
Okay.
It can be like the workshop, like the jazz or just something. Have one? You have one. Okay, great. So first, I'm gonna do the intro then, and then I'm gonna ask what's your name, so you know when you have to speak.
Okay.
Then where do you come from? Then what is your backstory, or who introduced you to Soul World? Is it your first time at Soul World? Then which workshop are you gonna tell us about today? And what did you do in that workshop? What was the coolest thing you did in that workshop? And why was that the coolest thing you did in that workshop? Okay. So before we do that, we just have to do a real quick mic check. So just speak into it.
Mic test, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now let's just start with the interview, okay?
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, and welcome to the interview of, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Khoo Yi Feng.
And where do you come from, Yi Feng?
I'm from Singapore.
Okay. And what is your backstory, or who introduced you to Soul World?
Ooh. Bibi, you might be the one that introduced me to Soul World because I I've been listening to the podcast by Elphick Chillon and Dominic Gona, and I've heard your voice when you were 2.5 years old. And in the series of podcasts, there's been a lot of discussions about Soul World, and that was in 2018. Right now, 2025, about 7-8 years later, this is my first Soul World conference. And Bibi, you have been there for a few months, is that right?
Yes, I've been there for a few months.
You have been more than me, Bibi.
Yes. So, of which workshop are you going to tell us about today?
I think one of the workshops, there are so, like Bibi said, there's so many workshops that are so amazing. And one of the workshops that I really appreciate was by Kenneth Kwan, from Singapore. And one of the things that he talked about was driving large-scale change through continuous support with the organization through small steps, big changes.
Okay. And what did you do in that workshop?
I think one of the key things that we did in the workshop was to understand from the lens of the leader, how do they think, rather than thinking that we know, right? And when we go into the space, how do we speak the language of the leaders? So using a very SF way, right, coming towards what do they really want to care about? What do they want instead of what they don't want? And one key thing that really helped me to see that, kind of give an example of the hospital, was that the hospital clinicians, as well as the leaders, they care about three key things, like patient quality, patient experience, as well as how fast can they turn around, how fast can they turn around. And that's important for quality services. But to speak in that language, not in a language that we think, to speak in a language that people understand, that makes a big difference.
Okay. And what was your favorite thing, or what was the coolest thing you did there?
I think one of the coolest things was this thing that we did. And can I show it to you? Like it's like, ta-da! So really opening it up, right? And why we do that, I think it's the idea of soul work, right? The fact that we are opening up ourselves as well as being expansive, right? Small steps literally can lead to big changes. And that could really evolve as well as revolutionize the world, the working world that we live in and play in.
Okay. And why was that for you the coolest thing?
I've been making my own transition, me from the clinical world to the organizational world. And one of the key things I've been trying to, why I came to Silver was also to learn the language of how the leaders think and how can we make a difference in that. And how can we have fun while doing it. Right? And maybe you did a session on play as well. Yes. And how do we invite that playful spirit into these spaces to open up the ways that we live in. And so I think that was really one of my largest takeaway, as well as the connection that I have.
Thank you for this delightful interview.
Thank you, Bibiana.
Bye, guys. Perfect.
Oh, wonderful. Hey. So again, you discovered more about a new workshop. Had you heard about that workshop yet?
No.
Hey, so
nobody did that, I think.
Okay, so that's a new workshop that you discovered. So that's what you've been doing throughout the whole conference. You've had how many of these interviews?
So me and my dad counted yesterday from the day before yesterday and yesterday. There was 25, but not all of those are interviews. Because at least like 3 of them, I said like rating, like I rate the food, or I told them that it's my day 1 at Seoul conference.
Whoa.
And so now it's 22 plus, because today, but it could plus minus.
Okay, so you might do a few more. And would you mind if we were to share some of these interviews with the whole SF practitioners all around the world?
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So that's what we're hoping to do. And thank you so much for your dedication. I'll give you a high five. And let's hope to see you at the next conference.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing there? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.